So I saw this video and it it really stood out to me because I could see what actually was happening here and what the real intent of this was. And it's basically the media trying to manipulate the left, liberals, just like the media tries to manipulate conservatives. And honestly, I'm really sick and tired of this shit. But anyway, let's watch the video and I'll tell you what's really going on here.
You cannot have free speech in a country.
No, that's fine. You can support free speech, but you also have to be accountable for what you say. Would you use the N-word out of interest?
Yes.
Whew. This woman, this MAGA TikToker, was on Piers Morgan, and I can.
Okay, so I know who this woman is. I think her name is thelillygaddis or Gaddis. I've seen her before. She actually became famous for using the N-word. So this is nothing shocking or new to Piers Morgan. I'm going to mostly talk about Piers Morgan rather than this guy. I don't really know who this guy is, Keith Edwards. I don't really have much to say about him, but Piers Morgan is a grifter. And you could argue that Gladys or Gaddis, I'm trying to remember what her name is. Hold on. The Lily Gaddis. Maybe she's a grifter too. I don't know. I don't care. But Piers Morgan is such a virtue signaling fake, and that's really my beef here. So the Lily Gaddis, she made like a viral video, or she made a video that went viral, and she used the N word. She was just talking about, I don't know. She used the N word. I think she said bitch ass niggas or something like that. Something stupid. I don't know. I don't care. But the whole reason why Piers Morgan has this woman on his show is because she used the N word, and he knows it. He knows it. So he's acting. He's acting disingenuous because he knows exactly what she became famous for. She became famous for using the N word.
Cannot believe this, y'all.
So what this is all about is, I'm gonna have to skip around on this. This was about a woman using the N-word on a playground. I'll play a little bit of this clip, I guess.
The fuck you talking
Did you
about?
call the child the word?
None of your fucking business.
It is my own business. You call him. Okay, why don't you have the balls to say it right now again?
Fuck you.
Okay. All right, that's what you say.
You don't go digging through people's shit, you dumb fuck.
Nobody dig into your shit.
A little fucking kid just did, you dumbass.
That little kid, you call him a.
Yeah.
The little child?
What if he acts like one, he's gonna.
Are you about to hit him? You chase him here?
He took my son's stuff.
So that gives you the right to call the child, 5-year-old, and the N-word.
If that's what he's gonna act
That's
like.
what you're gonna call him.
That's what he's gonna act like.
You know that's a hate speech, and you can be recorded for that.
I don't give a shit.
Huh.
Fuck off.
Okay, we'll see about that. What the internet has to say about you.
So then,
Okay, so obviously I don't support that woman at all. She's a moron, a miserable cunt. Um, Doing that to a 5-year-old is traumatizing. Okay, like any kind. It's not even necessarily the N word that's the problem. It's the fact that she's attacking a 5-year-old who apparently is autistic. So that's indefensible. And then you have like people on the right, defending this, and this is not the hill to die on. But I do want to skip ahead to where Ben Shapiro starts virtue signaling about this. So let's listen to this Jewish supremacist scumbag who supports genocide, by the way, talk about how wrong it is to use the N-word.
rightly so. Good for you, Ben. Here's a little bit of what he said.
And Keith Edwards, this guy is praising Ben Shapiro. This shows you just how easily people can be manipulated, not just conservatives, but liberals.
Calling a little black kid the N-word, I think we can agree, is a bad thing to do. And now, if you have trouble with that statement, that calling a little black kid the N-word is a bad thing to do, I'm not sure why. That seems totally uncontroversial to me. Whether you have broader concerns about racialized language in America, I don't see the necessity for having a debate over, for example, the use of the N-word in rap music, which is terrible, in order to say that it is bad for an adult white woman to call a 5-year-old kid the N-word.
And Keith Edwards is going to praise Ben Shapiro instead of recognizing this for what it is. Look, Ben Shapiro is a Jewish supremacist. Okay, it's been said. I don't know if this is true or not. Like honestly, it sounds plausible that he's actually been working with the Mossad. I don't know if he's a Mossad agent himself, but he might be working adjacent to them. And he's manipulating Americans in order to cultivate a pro-Israel agenda. Ben Shapiro is now actually virtue signaling himself to appeal to liberals because he's losing support on the right due to his Israel first policy and position. Ben Shapiro is not an American in any sense of the word that actually matters. He's an Israeli. He's an Israeli firster. He supports Israel. He would nuke the United States if it meant saving Israel. He does not care about the United States of America. He does not care about the things that he's virtue signaling about right now. The only thing he cares about is Israel and Jews because he's a Jewish supremacist. That's it. And the conservatives that he used to, and probably still does, virtue signal to, are now seeing through his lies and seeing this monster for what he really is. But now he's virtue signaling to liberals because he's losing so much support on the right. And he's trying to manipulate liberals into supporting him, you know, trying to drop a few things that liberals want to hear so that they'll support him. And this Keith Edwards guy is eating it all up. But I see this for what it really is. It's Zionist manipulation of Americans in order to ingratiate themselves with us so that then we will be manipulated into supporting Israel, which is what he really cares about. He doesn't give a shit about anything else. So now, to pivot to this Piers Morgan fucktard, I made a video about Piers Morgan before. Watch that whole fucking video because this guy's a clown. He's a grifter. This motherfucker, Piers Morgan, is going to virtue signal about how bad it is to say the N-word. But meanwhile, this guy defends Israel and the genocide that they're doing all the fucking time, constantly.
I do, quite frequently.
You use the N-word quite frequently. Well, why?
So now Piers Morgan is going to act like he's so offended by the N-word. I need to say this. Using the N-word in isolation, meaninglessly, into the void, is not as bad as supporting and defending genocide. That is exponentially worse. And that's what Piers Morgan does. But Piers Morgan's going to virtue signal about how wrong it is to use the N-word. And look, what that woman did in that video was wrong. But this Lily Gaddis person, she admits that she used the N-word because she got viral for it. She just said bitch-ass niggas or something like that. I mean, you could say she's a grifter, and she probably is. But I don't really care about her. What I care about is Piers Morgan virtue signaling and trying to look like he's like some hero. He's acting all woke and shit. Like any conservative would have called this motherfucker a woke social justice warrior.
Other than the fact you're a despicable racist, are you?
Some would say I am. I guess according to the ADL, I'm a white supremacist. I'm a neo-Nazi.
Yeah, but if you
No, keep in mind, she's mentioning the ADL here, and the ADL that is a Jewish supremacist group that was founded literally to defend a pedophile and child murderer named Leo Frank. I made 2 videos about that. Go check them out.
use the N-word repeatedly, you are a racist, then, are you? Are you?
Sure, I'll embrace that. If that means forwarding, helping white people achieve freedom of speech, real freedom of speech, which, by the way, Shiloh Hendricks is being attacked on all fronts. They're trying to bring legal charges against her. They're trying to get her children taken away. So you were saying Carmelo Anthony, it doesn't matter. That's a different.
Sorry, but just to be
thing.
clear, you just said to me you use the N-word regularly. In what context?
Right.
Do you use it with black people?
Yes, if it's appropriate.
When would it be appropriate to use the N-word? When would it be appropriate?
Anytime I feel like it.
So you're an unashamed racist.
Correct.
Well, do you understand that makes you a despicable human being?
I guess so. I don't really care. I mean, why are we not talking about Shiloh Hendricks? Why are we talking about
Well,
if
actually, I
I'm
think
racist?
you've moved it on in this debate very quickly to your own racism, which explains why you've
Piers Morgan already knows that she became famous for using the N-word. So he's being disingenuous. So I see through this fakeness. When people are fake and phony like this, it pisses me off. Now, as for this woman, I just want to conclude this whole thing by showing a video of this woman, Lily Gaddis. Hopefully this works. And I'm not even going to say anything. You can just watch it, and then that'll be that. Hopefully this thing works.
So I'm going to try to keep this vague because I don't want to get anybody else in trouble. I was told by someone who works with a Jew who works in media, who manages social media accounts and is very well connected in the Florida area. Shocker. And this person, I guess, keeps a close eye on what I post. They've tried to help me with my social media. I'm not interested, obviously. And they told this person, this middleman that I know, that I better be careful talking on about Jews. I better be careful being critical about Israel and Jews. And they said, I better be careful because you don't mess around with these people because myself and my son could wind up dead. I'm not making this up. I'm so fucking mad. I'm so fucking mad. I just heard about this today. I was just told about this morning. Those are the kind of people we're worried about. You know what, you motherfuckers? You're going to try to threaten me? You're going to try to threaten me. Oh, I'm just saying this as a friendly reminder because I care about her. I don't want her to get into trouble. Who the fuck threatens somebody and their kid? So if I wind up dead, okay, I didn't commit suicide, all right? And you know exactly who it was.
Okay. So I think you get an idea of why they're throwing certain people under the bus. And I didn't show it here, but they were also throwing Matt Walsh under the bus as well. The reason they're throwing certain people under the bus and then elevating certain other people really actually has more to do with whether or not they support Israel and Jews and whether or not they don't. So Lily Gaddis and Matt Walsh, for that matter, they don't support Israel. Now, there might have been a time when Lily Gaddis supported Israel before she became viral famous and stuff like that. I've heard some rumors about that. She's probably a grifter herself, but doesn't really matter now because she has, as you saw, spoken out against Israel and Jews. And it doesn't really matter what her reasons are, if it's to become famous or not. They're attacking her for those reasons. And Matt Walsh has also spoken out against Israel to some degree, even if it is a milquetoast opposition to it. It's still something. But now they have reason to not like these people. Meanwhile, the quote unquote good conservatives like Ben Shapiro, they want to get him in the good graces of liberals, and this is how you do it, with one fucking word. Do you see how easy it is to manipulate people now? So that's all I got to say. Uh, it just baffles me how easily people are manipulated by Zionist Jews, and we're allowing them to do it, and it needs to stop. See ya.